Welcome to the Trade, Travel, and Tourism Committee. Today's Tuesday, January 15th. I'm joined by Mr. Krikorian and Mr. Bonin, and I'm Chairman Buscaino. Hope you had a nice holiday and New Year celebration. Looking forward to a coming year that's going to see continued progress at the airport and port, as well as the tourism industry is going to continue to thrive. I'm looking forward to joining the mayor tomorrow, where we'll announce the 50 millionth visitor to come to the city of Los Angeles, 2 years ahead of the 50 million mark set by the mayor and LA Tourism. So with that,
Is there something at the airport the mayor hasn't told the airport's representative about?
no, nothing at the airport tomorrow, Mr. Bonnet. But before we dive into the agenda, I'd like to turn it over to our Deputy City Attorney.
Thank you. I'm Stefan Fauble. As the first meeting of this committee starts for 2019, I'd like to take a moment to remind all the members of the public and the audience that new council and committee rules have come into effect. The new rules state that a member of the audience who disrupts multiple council or committee meetings may be excluded from future meetings for 1 or more days. The number of days increases with the number of disruptions. The exact rules are available on the city's website. A summary of the rules is on a large poster board in the hallway just outside the room near the kiosk where you sign up to comment. The new rules do not address the content of public speakers' remarks. Instead, the rules are designed to prevent actual repeated disruptions of council and committee meetings. Our hope is that the new rules will help the council and committee meetings run more efficiently, to complete the city's business, and to allow as many members of the public as possible to present their comments to the elected representatives in an orderly manner. Thank you very much for letting me say this.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So as you, just to note, Mr. Herman made a snorting sound as you were explaining to us the new council rules and committee rules, just for the record. Okay, with that, colleagues, I'd like to direct your attention to the agenda. So it looks like do we have it? No general. Have you loaded these up, Dennis? Oh, here we go. Okay, let's bring up Antonia Ramirez. Seems like she's got, she pulled comment cards on all items. So we'll do the 2 minutes of multiple items rather, and then 1 minute of general public comment.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, again, in other words, the attorney, that was full censorship. Okay, we got it. Let's begin with number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I would admonish the City of Los Angeles and the Board of Harbor Commissioners and CAO not to engage in any business transactions with Chevron USA. They are corrupted, they are divisive, they hire a lot of unlawful wetbacks and gangbangers, and they perform in a substandard manner. I would be cautious working with Chevron. They are not freedom-friendly, they are not honest, forthright, and they don't deal in good faith and fair dealing. Having said that, let's go over to number 4, and to the Board of Airport Commissioners and CAO. I would make every human concessions to accommodate the United Airlines and the whole industry of the United Airlines. They are very professional. I think they are the top-notch airline throughout LAX and all throughout the industry. The United Airlines pilots are top-notch. Most of them are military veterans. And also the cordiality, the food, everything, they really know how to perform, how to satisfy, and how to greet, and how to engage beautifully with all the passengers. So God bless the United Airlines and its gorgeous hot mama pilots. Having said that, I would also go over to number 7, to the Board of Airport Commissioners and Transportation. I would like to see more operations open up in Long Beach and in Westwood.
Okay, 1 minute general public comment.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I caution anyone who wants to travel to Los Angeles City and County not to. Los Angeles is dirty, contaminated with MRSA, bed bugs, scabies, staph infection viruses, and if they are all over the surfaces, buildings, structures, outdated furniture, and even at the taxis, bus benches, restaurants, hotels, and malls. They are saturated with bacteria and are breeding grounds of highly contagious and lethal viruses. Secondly, in Los Angeles is highly unsafe and there is no public safety. There are no trash cans and there are no bathrooms. So if any of you want to go to a bathroom, you're going to have to bush it, literally bush it. There are no toilets accessible. And I tell you that as somebody who's homeless. There are no toilets available. And Eric Garcetti and City Attorney Michael Fuhr have done a horrific job making this city beautiful. It is uninhabitable. And we've got the gangs, the niggers, and the wetbacks contaminating all the wonderful people. Thank you.
Let's bring up Herman now. He too has pulled cards on all the items. Just give him 2 minutes on those items, and then 1 minute of general public comment.
As you heard regarding rules and reducing services, I'd like to advise this commission and its council, under the direction of Herman Jason Wesson and the mayor of Los Angeles, that relocation assistance services do not apply. Why, over so many years have Dal Richardson, current or former wife of current Price, has not established rules of divorce or rules to
Speak on
approving
the items, the purview of this
the
committee.
First Amendment.
Is your last warning. Speak to the items before us.
First Amendment, as I said, regarding relocation assistance. Again, we find an exemption with no community impact. The result should be a shutdown. And on all LAX issues, I demand a shutdown. Thank you, Trump, in support of the furloughs and the shutdown. Because we have an activity of corrupted politicians who are abusing public's interest, public transparency, and public's admission to advise council that we, the legislative body, decide what's important for our public transportation, niggers. And because we only have one transportation nigger looking down on his phone and not listening to our comments, fuck you, 42 USC, Mr. Bonin, because you, the transportation nigger, have advised us on the bad rules and good faith of no good for transportation. Shut down, shut it all fucking down. Trump.
Okay. Looks like you're going to opt for that, opt out, okay? With that, colleagues, if I can, any other speakers? Doesn't look like it here. Okay, fantastic. All right, colleagues, I'd like to take on consent items 2 through 10. Any items we'd like to hold on the desk? Items 2 through 10? Okay.
John White, City Clerk. Committee members, item 10 has a CA report that was submitted after the publication of the agenda. We're going to approve that report along with your action on that item.
Let's do that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll approve items 2 through 10 and on item 10 as amended without objection. And with that, let's now take item number 1 for discussion.
Item 1, motion Buscaino Martinez instructing the LADWP to report relative to land swap negotiations with the Port of Los Angeles, the next steps required to execute the land swap agreement, any outstanding roadblocks preventing the execution of the land swap agreement, and the capacity of and current and future usage of the LADWP tank farm in Wilmington.
All right, it's Masood here for LADWP, and filling in for Mike Galvin, it's Eric. Give me your last name, I'm so sorry. Martell, of course, Eric Martell, who's a fixture here at City Hall, but now at the port. So with that, I know since we last met, wanted to get an idea of what's taken shape here, what's the delay. I was under the impression this agreement was going to be finalized by both and executed before the end of the year. That has not happened. What are we looking at?
Okay, Masud Saburi from LADWP. So there is 3 items. One is the agreement for the permission to operate monitoring wells, and that's finalized. Here's to Paula.
Okay, the handoff. You see that, colleagues? There it is. Whew.
The second one was the 311 agreement.
Right.
I did get the comments back from the port last Friday afternoon. I had our counsel review it yesterday and was sent back to Paula, so I'm just waiting for their final word on it, if that's okay or no, the changes that we didn't make, that the Paula had made some changes and we just modified it a little bit. So that's on the 311 for the 3-year plus 2-1 agreements.
This has been the agreement from hell, for the record. I mean, between these 2 proprietary departments, it's taken us this far. It's so frustrating. But I thought the 311 already was addressed in November.
And you're right, it came back from Paula, they had minor changes on it, we're making the changes and we should be done. As far as I'm concerned,
Okay.
we should be okay with that. The term sheet was finalized and it's being signed this week by my executive manager.
Okay. And then in terms of the RFP, I mean, with the proposal for construction of the triangle piece at the Wilmington Waterfront Development, has that been scheduled?
That one, the RFP.
This may be more of a
It's not in DWP's hand, actually.
report, Eric.
The Port of LA is planning to release the bid for construction in March of 2019, so all of that needs to be finalized. The demolition side on DWP.
Okay. So the demo's got to be done by you, and what's the schedule of that?
March, April timeframe will be done.
Okay. This is a critical piece if we want to advance efforts in the Wilmington Waterfront development.
Yeah, the easterly tank will be removed by
Right.
this year's March, April timeframe.
And these tanks have been vacated to date?
Yes,
They have been,
They were
okay.
vacated at end of last December.
So you're saying the easterly tank will be demoed by March,
At the latest, by the end of April.
end of April?
March, April.
Okay. So what you just handed off to the port was an agreement?
This is an agreement so they can do their monitoring of the wells for another parcel that's close.
Monitor of the what? I'm sorry?
Wells, there is wells.
The wells. Okay, got it.
Yeah, doing environmental monitoring.
Okay, so Eric, what are you going to do with that?
Take it back to our council and real estate group.
Okay. So this has been very frustrating, colleagues. I would actually call for both general managers of the DWP, Mr. Wright and also Mr. Soroka, to appear before this committee if this has not all been done. So that'll be 2 weeks from today. 3 weeks, sorry. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. So with that,
Should be done before.
okay, if not, then,
If it's on this agenda, it will be.
right.
Well, the term sheet is just going through the
Okay.
signature right now. The other one.
Just go back to the general managers, have them block this date on their calendar, please.
Okay.
Which is 3 weeks from today, because this has been very frustrating, and we started this process back in September, but before that, it's been,
Okay.
Anna, 2 years in the making. Okay, thank you so much for your
Mr.
update.
Chair, for the record, that is Tuesday, February 5th is our next meeting.
Thank you. So with that, we'll continue this to Tuesday, February 5th. Colleagues, have anything?
No, but I'm going to mark that down because that's going to be a meeting worth seeing.
That's right. Please note that. You're good, Mike?
Rise up.
Rise up, Wilmington, in honor of Dave. Thank you so much. Thank you for the report back, and we're now adjourned. Thank you.